What's up, everybody? Shawn back here with another Live to Roll live video. This week we got our friend Rachel here, and me and Rachel are twins of not the same year, so we both celebrated our birthday yesterday. So we're gonna talk about that. But Rachel's got a little bit more of a story to that, so we're gonna get into all that stuff. We'll get into some quick intros and then let Rachel get into a little longer intro story. But yeah, my name is Shawn Fluke. I'm a C5, C6 quad from a snowboarding accident 18, almost 19 years ago now. I'm coming up on my 19th soon.
What day's your 19th?
It's not till January, so I still have 2 months, but yeah, I know always at the end of the year, I'm like, it's coming up here again.
You just start rounding it up.
I do, and as soon as I get to within a couple months. All right, Bobby, you want to give yourself a little intro?
Yeah, I'll give myself a little love here. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching. I'm Bobby Rohan. I'm C5, C6 squad of 33 years, and mine's in March, so coming around the corner as well. And enough about me. I've been on this enough. Let's turn it over to our lovely and most beautiful guest today, Rachel. Glad to have you back.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm a C5, C6, incomplete, quadriplegic. I was injured on my 21st birthday, which was yesterday, and so it was also my life day. And the way my accident happened was I was driving home from a friend's house that I went to after work, and I was on the freeway. My car made a noise, and so I decided to pull over, and I had my hazards on and everything, and I guess I got rear-ended from a truck going 80 miles per hour. That truck had been working on the freeway earlier that evening, and yeah, I just woke up and I couldn't move anything from the neck down, and yeah, they told me I was paralyzed.
Wow, Rachel. Well,
Yeah,
I know
that's
we're going to get into your story a little bit more and kind of, I think our show today is having that life birthday and your regular birthday, but more about our life birthday and how we celebrate it. And if we celebrate it, I think a lot of times you hear about that, oh, it's coming around the corner and people start getting down a little bit. And, we want to hear what your thoughts about your life birthday and how it makes you feel. And I think for myself and Shawn, it becomes a little bit different and maybe it becomes different for most of us. And I've celebrated 33, and you get the first 5 years are nothing but thoughts of that day, obviously. And then
Yeah.
the time goes and we start turning it into something else and what it becomes. I don't know about you, Shawn, and you want to touch some thoughts about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know. So like, me and you have a little bit, a few more years with the injury. Rachel's still within that 5 year thing, so it's probably a different perspective. Because I do remember in the first few years, first 5 years, it was harder. It was more of like you dwelled back and thought of like, thoughts of the what ifs and the different things from that day. But yeah, as time went on, now I do kind of celebrate it. It's like my new life day. Like that's when I my life is definitely a lot different than it would have been. But there's so many people in my life, and I met so many people and or done so many things that like I can't help but be grateful for life itself, and that's kind of what I feel like when I come around to my injury date, my new life day. I feel like it's become more of like just a celebration of life. It almost is like another birthday. So it's just like you're alive, you're happy. It's something that's just. But that wasn't the same in the beginning. So yeah, I don't know, Rachel. Like I don't know if you have gotten quite there yet, or if it's still a little bit more. Something you think about. Like when it comes around. I don't know. Yeah, how do you feel? Are you still?
Um, I feel like I do get like I noticed that I do get some anxiety, and I also noticed that my body hurts more around this time. It's weird.
You think that's
And
because of the cold, or you think that's because of
oh no, it hurts
Stress.
all the time, but I just feel like the anxiety and the
okay,
stress
yeah, no,
and
I know
the
it's
like
probably
the body trauma from the accident like around this time more.
okay.
But we're
Mhm.
celebrating. Um, the first year, obviously, I celebrated in the hospital, and
Yeah,
then, yeah, I try to, I want to celebrate it as a good thing because it is my birthday. But yeah, I don't know.
it's still
You
hard.
you you have like you have that like that person that has their birthday on Christmas. It's hard to celebrate two things, and so it must be
Yeah,
weird for you. Okay, yeah, I know I'm happy because it's birthday. You get a few gifts because for our life birthdays, but I've told my wife many times she doesn't do it, but hey, it's my life birthday. What about a gift? And she's like, yeah, well, whatever you want, just go get it. I mean, she's not going to surprise
yes,
birthday, but you kind of have that birthday on your on Christmas, but now it's your life birthday and your birthday, so it must be really heavy mixed feelings.
it is. But I do want to acknowledge it, and I do want to celebrate it because it is something to be proud of, but it also is kind of crazy at the same time.
Yeah, and
But
actually, it's too funny. We had our one of our and shout out to our chat. Carol, Mama Conway, what's up? Uh, and we got Paul in
Yeah,
the
Carol's
house.
what happened.
Our friend from the border, Andrew, always here, and looks like he did have his life birthday and Christmas are horrible. I don't know if it was the same day. Maybe that's what I was
Yeah, I
thinking.
think it's just different days. It just there's hard days for him. I think.
And I think we're going to dive into some of that and talk about the holidays because they are coming up. And so when these anniversaries and these things come up, I know they can be really really tough for us. And um, I know like for me, and I'll just talk about my experience with my life birthday, my first 4 years, 5 years. There's like heavy thinking. I know it's coming around, and after the
yeah,
fifth, I felt like okay because there was two things that happened after 5 years. When I first got hurt, somebody told me, "Don't worry, in 5 years you're going to be walking. The cure for the spinal cord is right around the corner." Now this is
yeah,
now we're 33 years later, and I'm
they've
just
been
like,
saying that.
yeah, yeah, and you heard it too, and how many years later? So, and yeah, it's I think after that 5 years, I'm like, well, nothing's changing. I'm not hearing anything, so let's just move on with life. And when that day comes around, let's be happy about it. And then until
Yeah,
right when I hit 10 years, I had one of the biggest parties at my house. I had everybody under the sun there, and we
that's
just
great.
blew out the house, which was
That's
great.
what
And
I
then
want.
from then on, it's a day for me to remember that I pat myself on the back of all the hard stuff work I've done with my mentoring, with my independence, and just with myself. And I treat
See,
myself. I try to go out to a nice dinner, or my wife will cook me a nice dinner, but I celebrate it like a birthday.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
because it
that's
is.
well for you. It definitely
And
is, but it really is though.
yeah,
'Cause like I was saying too, because it does feel like a birthday kind of. It is like a lot of people in the community call it New Life Day, or like your reborn type. Like it's because your life before did end at some level. Like the person you
yes,
were, you did change. Like at
it
that point.
definitely did.
So it's a tough thing. And for me, I was gonna say that 5 year mark. That's when I really like also for the sake like just kind of started figuring things out. Like I kind of knew at that point what my capabilities were, what I could do, what I couldn't do. how to get the help when I couldn't, like, so like by that time I was just kind of like figuring life out, and I think that's one of the things that helped me, like, all right, like I got this. Like, so it did, but it did take that, that little bit at the beginning. Can be rough. So
Yes. Well, it was my 4 year anniversary, and so
yeah, so you're just at
I
four.
just feel like I'm hard on myself. I just feel like I should be further than where I am, Then, but I think back and I be like, I've come a long way because I couldn't even move my arms and I couldn't even reach my nose to scratch it or anything. And yeah.
Yeah, see, when you think about that stuff, you have come a long way. And I even remember when I first met you, like I think you've gotten a lot stronger and a lot more independent. I see you on posting on Instagram and stuff. Your transfers, you're getting your independent transfer almost. Like
Yes.
you're scooting the booty.
Trying. Mm, okay.
I
I'm
mean, and
gaining
that's
muscle
great.
too.
Look at that. And Rachel, I first met you at Casa, and you just bossed them in, and your head is up, and you just it's like a different person. It's always so great to meet somebody when they
Oh,
first happen.
thanks.
It's never good to meet somebody who just freshly got hurt, but then 5 years later down the road, or 4 years now for you, but to see where you've come, and it's just like wow. And I remember just a few years ago when we were during COVID and we're all on Zoom, and you had to move up there to Oregon, and you were just like, how am I going to do this? And you're doing it.
Yes.
You're making it happen, and that's what makes you great, Rachel. That you're
Thank
still
you.
pushing forward. I'm sure it's been tough. So tell us about your move. I know you just went up there about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's coming up on 3, I think.
Oh
It was
shit.
in 2020.
Oh wow, yeah, it was right before. Yeah, damn.
Started.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
at the
that's
end.
yeah. So that's what sucks
And
too. I
yeah,
remember
it's
because yeah, you had to
been,
get right into COVID. That's hard.
I mean, as a quadriplegic and a spinal cord injury person, with all the rain and the wet, it is hard. Like, especially I have, a metal rod in my neck, so it makes it hurt a lot more. And I just don't, I get cold easily, so I don't like the cold.
That's
That's
a
the only problem. And not a lot of places are accessible, like the housing and stuff. It's very hard to find like a house or even an apartment or even restaurants because a lot of them, it's an old, state. So yeah, it's difficult. And sometimes I even forget to check that even a restaurant or like wherever I'm going is wheelchair accessible. And I get there and I'm like, oh man, I just sometimes I forget.
because living out here in California, you didn't really have to do that. Like
No,
90,
not really.
like 9% of the places you go to are going to be accessible, but yeah, not all states are like that. So
So how do you find, Rachel, when you do go to a restaurant that is not accessible? Are they pretty accommodating by helping you out?
Oh my gosh. Yes, pretty much. Yes, to the most part. But another thing I wanted to point out, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but most, not most, but like some restaurants I've gone to, like Buffalo Wild Wings to be exact, when they seated us, well, they sat us, the wheelchair table was by the kitchen, like in the back corner, like basically by like hidden or like by something, by a trash can or something,
Hmm.
or
but
like
yeah,
in the
no,
back.
that's
Is it just because
That's happened to me a couple times.
huh? I haven't really noticed that. Like I just noticed like sometimes that I've been put at the table and they're like, here you go. And I'm like, can we move over there where the TV is? And they're very confused because they're looking at the table that has that emblem. They're like, but this is the wheelchair accessible table. I'm like, yeah, but that table over there, it will work for me too. And I can see the TV. And they're like, very confused. They're like, It's like out of protocol. I have noticed that.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
that's
good. And
crazy.
so I'm glad to hear, Rachel, that you're using your advocacy and making sure you get into the restaurants you want and not. I know some of us out there, especially early on after your injury, that you're like, oh, poor me, I can't go in there and just leave and go
And go
upset.
home
Hmm.
and then let it just like, oh, no, I'm just gonna not go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just gonna quick to the chat. Our friend Adrian said that he loves happy birthday and that he loves the content you put out. I was supposed to say content. And thanks,
yeah,
bro. Good to see you too. And then what's up, Nikki? Just got here. That's awesome. Thank you.
thank you
Belated
guys.
birthday to Rachel.
I made it. I also made a YouTube, so if you guys wanna check it out. But I haven't really I don't know what to put on it.
Your
I
content.
mean, I know, but I want to put like stuff about uh, wheelchair. Um, I forgot the word. I'm sorry.
Well,
It's like
wheelchair.
Accessibility or
awareness and
Oh,
stuff, like disability awareness, and because a lot of people. I mean, I before I was injured, I didn't know anything about this. Like this is it's a lot. It's a big community too, and
yeah.
a
Well, and
lot
I
of
think
people. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was going to say I think people, especially you're still somewhat in that newly injured. So yeah, I think Shawn and Tom and I, and Tom, you're being missed. We need your commentating. You definitely help out. So get your butt. He was a little under
uh,
the weather, so get your butt over here. And
Tom.
so, but I think we forget
let's
about
see.
some of that little stuff of awareness. And now down here in California, we take a lot of it for granted. And I think that would be great if you put that content out there, Rachel, and show us some of that stuff.
Yes, or also because with Triumph, I'm very grateful for them because when I was in the hospital, they came to visit me, and I want to do that, but COVID and everything is kind of difficult to do that. Go and visit newly injured people in the hospitals or whatever. Because
Yeah,
if I
right now
didn't
it's
have
tough.
that or that connection, I would be so lost. And I want people to know that there's a community like this and that they're not alone and they can learn from us.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
no. Nikki,
And we
honestly,
have
if you want to, Nikki said, let me log on. If you want to jump in and co host with us, Nikki, I think you're welcome to join.
come on.
Yeah, come on, come
So,
on.
You got the link,
we
you know it.
we got
Nikki?
Peter in the chat, and he said he went to a bar where they didn't have an accessible table because a lot of times in bars they're really high, and definitely you got to makeshift some of what you can. Or sometimes I let my buddies sit at the high table, and I'm like, just hand me my beer or hand me my drink. I'm
Yeah.
always good at that.
Yeah, that's what I've done is sat just next to like the table or the bar, and like if I need to like set it up or whatever, I'll just have somebody grab. But that's a pain in the ass because it's
Yeah.
hard to get it on your own,
Yeah. And then
so
there's been times where you go into a bar for a happy hour and it's just too crowded. And they're like, well, we have these high tables. I'm like, can I sit in the restaurant where it's the low tables there, but I want your bar happy hour prices. And most of the time it's been yes. There's one time we had a no, and it was not a fun situation with all of us yelling at that person for that
I was gonna
person.
say. So actually, we were actually just talking about this on Sunday. We all actually went out after the rugby thing. A bunch of us, Andrew and stuff, was there, and one of the lawyers that helps out with ADA law, who will shout out Jeff. I don't have all his info in here, so I'm not going to give, but I will soon. Let's throw it. We'll shout him out. But basically they sue anybody that's not accessible. Oh, Nikki is calling in. Um, but but they mention here. All right, let me add in Nikki real quick.
That's
All right,
cool.
1 second. She can fill in for Tom.
I like that. I sometimes I have. Luckily, my insurance covered two chairs, so I like
You
that
guys,
when
you've
I'm in
got.
my power chair, I could just raise up to the bar or something, the table.
What's
Uh,
up, ladies?
What's
What's
up?
up? Happy
You
belated
want to
birthday.
introduce yourself real quick?
Hello,
You may,
hello.
we all know who you are, but
Happy belated birthday, Shawn, too.
And Rachel.
And
thank
Rachel.
you guys.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
I'll take off the Tom name tag though.
We'll be
Oh,
There's a-
I'm Tom. Been on class.
yeah, so I was gonna ask. Do you guys want to ask Rachel, or I was gonna get into the story of why Tom's not here, or maybe why, I don't know. One of his he blames this on me partially, but
Oh, what'd you do?
because we all went out yesterday. He was down
Oh,
here. But
Oh, he's
anyways,
hungry.
I was gonna ask before I get into that stuff. For Rachel, I was gonna ask you for just when it comes up, what's the first thing that you think of now? Do you think of your birthday first, or do you think of the injury first, like when the date's coming around?
I think of my birthday, to be honest. I think of my
Okay.
birthday more than about. I don't really focus on that, but it still is there. Like it's in the back of my head, and I do think about it. Like, but mainly what's on my mind is my birthday.
Yeah. So that's good that it's not like overtaking. You're
No,
celebrating
it's
for your
not.
birthday.
Yeah,
And
it's not
Nikki, didn't you have a
overshadowing
question
it.
in the chat here?
I did. I think I said I know this injury can suck, but like, what's a beautiful thing that came out of it? That was my question to Rachel.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Was
the friendship and the community because nobody's realer than us.
nobody's better than us. There you go.
Because like, and it's good to have a community of people that care and want to see you like be successful and as independent as you can, and that's
yeah.
really rooting for you.
I would have to say the same thing, Rachel. I mean, it's the friends that I got to build in lieu of my other friends, who are a lot of my athletic friends that we were going to be friends, and I still kind of keep up with some of them. But nowadays, hey Nicole, but nowadays it's you know I have all new group of friends, with Shawn and Tom and everybody else. That the list is so endless, and it's great to have that family and how close and how understanding we can be around each other, and so honestly, like you know Shawn and I can be hanging out, and then like, don't you hate it when your shit stinks, and then this happens, and you piss your pants like you're 3 years old, and Shawn's like, yep,
Yes.
I know, and he's not looking at me weird, he's not looking at me funny, and I think
It's relatable.
yeah, and I think we're all here together, and that's the great thing, and that's why we do this channel, and all of us are on this right now to get that out there for that person that is sitting home wondering, can I have friends? And yes, you are our friends out there, and sometimes they live in such a rural area that they don't get to be close to one another. And I don't know what your community out in Chicago area is, Rachel and Nicole, Nikki, but
Nikki.
you know, it's is it hard to make other friends in chairs, or is just you two
Gosh.
kind of stick together?
I think
Is it?
We found like a
yeah, we
little
found a little
community here.
community. I feel like Chicago. I feel like we have a lot of people, but maybe there's just not a lot of like events. Like I feel like California maybe has.
Yeah, like we got involved with the nonprofit and that's been like really helpful in letting us get involved with the community.
Like they do a workout class, which that's how we met most girls. I'm sure you met a few, Shawn, at the Abilities Expo that are in our workout class, but it's not many. It's
Yeah.
probably like three other wheelchair
That's
users.
cool.
Oh, and
Yeah.
actually, quick shout out to next week. I'm actually having Jason and Jesse on, or is it that we met in
Hey.
Chicago? Your friends from the workout, and yeah, they're a couple, and we met them there. They have a little company, and yeah, both in chairs, really cool people. So shout out to the Chicago people. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited for that one. He's dope.
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
And I think that's really important that if you are in an area, try to find that doesn't have a lot of events. Try to find the nonprofit or an organization that you can hook up with more individuals and talk about your shit and your piss and more so to life. Not, how do you get your pants on to hey, how do you get
I
off
mean,
the
there's
ground?
fun. There's cooler stuff to talk about, but it's nice to have
Yeah.
the people that you can ask those questions to. Like, so like that's what actually this weekend, the last 3 nights, I've had one of our friends who's been on the show here, Kyle. He's Kai McLovin on Instagram. If you guys follow him. But he's been down here the last 3 nights and staying at my house. He came down for the rugby practice, and then since it was my birthday, he was like, "Yeah, let's just hang out for a couple days." So like,
Aw.
and so like yesterday, Tom came down, Kyle was here, and then I had one of my buddies, my able-bodied, one of my best friends from Simi Valley came down. But it was three of us in chairs and him, so it was like 3/4 like of my friends, like we're all like are like chair users. And then even the day before, we all went out after the rugby practice. Like that was again over half people in chairs. It was Andrew and a bunch of people from Triumph. Brianna came out, Maya came out actually. So
The
it was pretty.
haters.
I know you guys are hating it. Sorry. But
That's
it's cool. Like, and I
cool.
love having those friends in the community. Like they're actually some of like Bobby started out as my mentor and like still is, but he's also one of my like closest friends, and like I feel like I could like if I ever like I could talk to him about anything if I needed to, like, and you just don't find that in a lot of communities and things. So like that's one thing that you can take like as a celebration of your life day. I feel like, or you can like say that's one of the reasons to celebrate is the community. So
Yeah, and I know real quick, Ken in our chat, he lives in a small town, no other quads around. So Ken, just if you can, just type in if have you been able to connect with anybody at least online, or how does that work? And what kind of area is it that you don't have any
Ken plays
quads?
rugby, so I know that he at least has
Same.
that community, but he's up in that like rural, like
Yeah.
by
There's
Reno
also
area.
so
And
many
that
virtual options. That's what I did a lot in the beginning. Like I didn't really want to go anywhere. That's how I found you guys and everything. So yeah.
It works or whatever.
What was it? What did you say, Nikki?
I feel like in the beginning I did a lot of virtual stuff because I just felt like too weak to do anything. Like I did virtual workout classes. I found like the Live to Roll show. Like it was like my support group. Then I found Triumph, and then Jessica introduced me to a support group. So it was like, yeah, all those things.
Different avenues.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm in a virtual group monthly. They only meet once a month. But it's nice because it's like it just gets you that time to meet with other people that are like you. We lost Rachel. We lost the birthday girl.
Hold on one second.
yeah,
Oh,
well, Mike, somebody's calling her, so when you're
Sorry.
on your phone and someone calls, it blanks out. It's kind of funny. We still got you though, Rachel.
Um,
I know we were talking about our life birthday, and we can get a little bit back on track, but I kind of wanted to know from everybody else, what is you know, we know what our life birthday coming up, it kind of gets sad, and then the longer we get, like Shawn and I have said, it got easier. But what are holidays like? We have Thanksgiving in 2 days, and bringing up, for my wife and I, it's with COVID, it was just her and I for 2 years, and I tried to still make the big turkey, and I did, but then somebody else is cutting it, and she's like, I don't know how to cut this, and I'm not the best cutting meat as well. So it really hurts, and I feel bad. And, it's 9 o'clock and we're finally eating this bird. And I'm just like, oh, I get frustrated. And then kind of like Christmas is the same thing. I'm still a little boy at heart. I love to get up and go see what's under the tree, even though I know that when that Santa comes and just gives me one little gift, but I still want to go out and see it. And I can't get up I can't get up that fast. So sometimes the holidays, I don't like it as much, especially the Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's a little bit harder for me. I wanted to know what it's like for you out there, we'll start with Rachel.
For the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it harder for you right now, or with family?
I mean, yeah, I don't have any family out here, so yeah. Because that used to be a big thing in my family. Like, we used to always celebrate, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then we'd do it like twice because, my mom's side of the family and then my dad's side of the family. So,
Okay.
but now, yeah.
How about,
I don't really see my family like that, so yeah, it's
yeah,
hard.
it's
Does
because
that
of
make
where
it a
you
lot harder?
Yeah. And
maybe.
I don't really know anyone either, so can't really have like friends out here.
Oh.
Kelly. Kelly said, how I roll. I hate Thanksgiving. The turkey is like a magic bullet.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
I
that's
For
good.
anybody that doesn't know, a magic bullet is a type of suppository. I think
That's
that's
a
what he's talking about.
Really?
'Cause that's the only magic bullets I know.
Those
And
are
they
about
work.
you? What about you, Ashley? Nikki?
The holidays.
I think they for sure definitely change, but sometimes I don't know if it's like directly towards our injury because I know we talked about this on the women's show Thursday, so I'm like repeating myself, but
It's all right. Some
like
Hey,
what was it? Like
we got injured. Were you
we
gonna
got
say?
injured in 2019, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. And then the pandemic was in 2020. So 2019 we didn't see how we would go to people's houses, so we didn't do anything. We were still like
Figuring it out.
figuring out life. We didn't want to go to anything, so like we didn't feel
Yeah.
like left out or anything.
But then 2020,
2020
pandemic.
it's like we couldn't either, so I don't know, it seems like it changed but not. Sometimes I don't even think that it changed with my injury. I think it just changed because of like the things
like
going on in the world.
the panorama. Yeah.
But we still like we don't actually have turkey, so I'm sure that goes right through you. We do like lechon and pork, Puerto Rican style, and
No.
yeah, but we do like those foods, and it's like the
It's definitely
same.
like it's the same, but like different. For
Yeah, it's
sure.
like this. But that's life. I feel like we're just in a different season of life when it comes to it.
Yeah. Then I don't know if I'd blame it so much on my injury or just like people's life changing in our family.
Yeah,
Because everyone's kind of starting to have their own families too. So like I don't know, it's just
it
getting
gotten
too
smaller.
big.
Like Rachel
Yeah.
said, like kind of just gotten like smaller, like just at home, or like we figured
Yeah,
out like I
drift
might.
apart.
We went to a movie.
Yeah, we went to a movie on Christmas Day. Like that was like our new little.
Yeah, just creating new traditions, I guess.
This year I might do friend hopping for Thanksgiving, which I've never done before. So like I'm excited to try
What?
it, but also
Friend
preparing
hopping?
to carry to people's house.
She
Like
said friend. So you guys go
friend hopping, to different people's houses, getting different plates from every house.
Mm.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I might go see a movie. That's the
There
vibe.
you go. I like the movie idea, and I just asked my wife for tomorrow night. You want to go to the movies? And she's like, "You hate the movies," and I hate the movies just because I'm not. I'd rather get in the chair at the movie theater, but it's not always easy to get out for me. I can get in, but getting out, and I explained a couple weeks ago that getting out once I broke my ankle, or getting back in my chair. So
What?
Oh
yeah,
damn.
That's
you know,
crazy.
the floor is sticky, and my foot just didn't pivot when I pivot, and I heard a snap. So, and you got to remember, after 30 years, your bones do get weak. So, if you want to hear an episode on your muscular and skeletal issues of aging with a disability, you can check out the Rolling Over the Hill little plug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
The last one was on osteoporosis and that. So perfect.
So I mean, that's why. But it is fun, you know. I mean, my wife enjoys it, so I'd rather do something like that. And I think that's a great tradition to start something different. You know,
Do you
Exactly.
stand?
I don't. I'm a bad
Oh,
boy. I never did, and it was one of those things that I didn't have a. I lived by myself a lot, and I didn't have anybody to really help me up. And I'm 6'2", and to stand, I'm like
oh,
cowering, and my back is hurting, and my blood pressure is dropping, and I'm stuck. I don't like feeling stuck in one
yes,
spot.
I hate that feeling.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, and I know they say it's healthy for your bones, and then I've also heard that it's okay for it does a little, but not as much as we hope for. I think it's better for your stomach and your posture and all that other stuff.
That's
And your
I have heard
bones,
that it does help with like
osteoporosis
stomach
too.
and
Yeah. How about you, Shawn? What are the holidays like for you now?
I mean, from at this point now, I've just kind of gotten used to whatever. But the holidays haven't changed a whole lot since I was younger. When I was younger, we actually used to do movies like at the end of like we would all go out after like we did our whole Christmas family thing, like the end of the night, go to like a movie or after Thanksgiving, same thing. After it was all dinner said and done, we'd all go to a movie. But one of my uncles that led that like kind of usually moved to Seattle, so that's what he's now up not in the area, and it just kind of like faded. But that was a cool tradition. I actually did like that. But really now we just meet. We do smaller gatherings. It's not huge because people have moved. A lot of the families moved out of state and stuff. So this year for Thanksgiving, I just saw one of my other like of a couple like two like a few that are like really close friends, but one of them that I grew up with, my buddy that lives nearby, I saw him and I saw his family, and since I saw them on Halloween, they have invited me 4 times to Thanksgiving now. So they
Oh,
really like at the when I saw them on Halloween, they invited me. They made sure to text me. They called me, and then I went to my buddies for some pictures, and he's like, "Hey, my mom wanted to remind you if you come." So I think I'm gonna do a mini
They're
friend
making
hop. I'm gonna
sure you
do
come.
my Thanksgiving and then go hang out with my friend's family for a few. But so that'll be a little bit different for me. I usually just kind of hang out at my family's, relax for the evening, and
Period.
have like a low key, chill night. I mean,
Shawn, Shawn, you don't eat anything, so it's like every time I see you try to eat something, I'm like eat something, man. You're like 2 bites, I'm full.
I feel that.
I
So you're
I
eating.
don't eat large portions. Uh,
Another one thing I thought of, and what makes think or Christmas time a little bit harder for me too is, when we do the tree. My wife's not very coordinated, and I'm like looser on the lights, and then the hanging the ornaments, and we between the two of us, we have a lot of ornaments, and I can hang up some, but I can't help with this getting the star on, and he's trying to do it. It just becomes like a little bit of a hassle, even though the one tradition we do have when we do this is we watch Christmas Vacation, and decorate the
nice.
tree, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting on the sideline for a lot of it and trying to just be a director. And my wife and I do not have the best communication. When I'm directing, I'm like, little Luther, you're gonna be done with your string of lights before you get to the bottom, and it becomes blah 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 blah, and it's fun, and we laugh about it every year, and now we just keep getting the tree smaller and smaller to where I
Yeah,
think this
that's
year it's
easiest.
2 feet, and it makes it so much easier. It's like, all right, that's
Tree.
done.
See, like that's what I guess for me. I never like I don't know. I just never got in. Like I'll just let the family do whatever. Like I'll just enjoy the decorations like how they are.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
Um,
be like I don't know.
I love
I guess
Christmas.
when I had my place and we did our own like my tree and stuff. I don't remember if I was very bossy with the lights and stuff or not. I don't think so. Maybe.
Well, and I think for me, it was having my own house, and then after getting married, you kind of feel like the man of the house, like you should get these things done. Like I watch my dad do, and I see other, families do, the gentleman, or especially in the movies, I kind of take it out of the movies, Griswold goes out and gets the Christmas tree and all that, and
Yes.
I kind of feel like that's what I want and I don't get. So it bums me out a little bit. Obviously I always comes to terms to it every year, and I don't say no to it. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's, as much as it's going to be we're going to get into this bickering little thing, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm going to say. I know what you're going to say, but let's do it. Let's have fun. And when
Let's
we
do it.
finish it, we always have a pretty treat. That I do have to say.
I think I remember the first year that I was injured because I love Christmas time. Like I am Mrs. Claus, right? And and I remember I like was really down, like, man, I'm not gonna be able to decorate and like do stuff. But I just bought, like, I went to Ross and I bought like little knickknacks and I just decorated like the crap out of my room. Like I was just like, that's what I can do right now, and I'm gonna have my holly jolly Christmas in my room. I got like a sparkly thing to like put on my cube thing that I had in my room, just to like
You doing that this year?
sparkle. Yeah, I'm gonna do that again this year. But now we decorate again. But the first year, I was really like, how am I supposed to do this, like, and not like take out all my energy or feel like I'm not doing anything because this is the part I like to do of Christmas, like.
See, I'm with Shawn. I don't mind sitting back. I'll smoke my weed while you guys put the Christmas decorations up.
Right? Like,
Call me for
just chill.
She's the
Me and
you have the aux cord.
Yeah, I got the aux cord and the one ornament that I like to put on the tree. As long as I do that.
Me and Ashley and Rachel will be chilling off to the side, just smoking. You guys can be doing
Yeah.
your thing.
The pothead.
But then it's funny because I think of like when before I was injured, like was in my own like apartment, and the same thing, like I was working a lot and I didn't really want to decorate, but I remember just buying like a little tree. It was
You got a
probably
little Charlie Brown tree.
yeah, it was probably like two of these, and decorated it. We put it on the table, like she called it a Charlie Brown tree, and like we put lights in our apartment, and it just looked so cute. And I don't know. Sometimes I try to remind myself I shouldn't blame my injury for things because, like, sometimes things were the same, like that, like the years before, and you made it work. Like, you always made it work. You made it jolly. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
That
we
makes sense.
got How I Roll. He's going to the Nutcracker in 15
Oh,
degrees weather, and it looks like he's got to drive his chair outside and back. So tell us, Kelly, how far is that back and forth? That's fine.
that's fun.
And you know us, we've said it many times, we're wussies when it comes to the cold. I don't know about you, Nikki. Do you,
Oh,
you get cold
I
easy?
mean, it gets like this weekend it was -20 here. I was freezing,
Your hands
yes.
are cold.
And like
that
tonight
was
it's
Well, that
weird.
is like
cold. Like,
that's
what's
just
the
straight
weather?
up cold for any.
Today it's kind of nice here, and you guys are gonna laugh when I tell you what the weather is. But today it's kind of nice here. It's 43 degrees.
Hey.
No, that is nice. It's been in the 20s and 30s here.
Oh no!
I was
You
just
guys
wearing
are
this,
all.
30s during the day.
and yesterday was like -20, so it's so beautiful to us today.
That's
Oh,
great.
wow.
I'm not. I don't even want to tell you guys the weather in California the last couple of days.
It's been 70 degrees
It's,
out there.
it has been 70 degrees and like sunny and nice. It's been
Dude,
like
no.
That'd be summer.
That'd be summer for real.
That would be
I'm
summer.
so jealous.
I'd be in my sports bra.
I feel
It's
bad
crazy.
now when I talk about when I'm cold.
It's been brutal. The cold is brutal. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like you could feel all the rods in your body and every,
nook and
like,
cranny, every
Yes.
joint, crack.
yeah, putting on your 50 layers before you leave the house.
That's annoying, especially as a quad. Putting on all your layers. Let's talk about that during Christmas. I don't want to get dressed.
Yes. I love
Probably
my
that.
portable heater.
Yeah, so it makes it hard to go out and do
Yeah.
like a Nutcracker night or something like that. And I'm kind of the same way. Once it's cold at night, I'm like, and COVID didn't help, and also old age doesn't help. But I become a homebody, and I'm just like, I just stay at home, please. So it
I mean,
does
if it
make
was
it hard.
22 degrees outside, I wouldn't be going out
I
anywhere.
don't.
Last year we went to they have like this market here in Chicago. It's like Christmassy German market where you drink and you have food and they have like little
Different
shops.
vendors, yeah.
But we went last year and it's outside. It was freezing. We stood for an hour. We had to go.
Yeah, I
We were both
said
like, it's time to go. It's freezing. Our noses are all red. We ate
People.
our food. We drank our little hot cocoa. You get cute little cups if you go. It was
it's
not
cute,
it.
but it was cold. I'm not
And
doing
I
that
want to
this
go.
year.
Yes, we are.
We are, but we're only going for like 30 minutes, so you better be ready.
See, we're about to fight.
It's kind of like me when I saw the Grand Canyon. It's like, all right, we've been here. Let's go. You know?
Oh, but you have to go every year. It's a Chicago tradition.
Um,
They have so many Christmas things around Chicago during like the
The
Christmas
holidays.
time. They like pop up Christmas bars, all this stuff. And like I told Ashley, we have to go to them this year. All of them.
I do want to go to a Christmas bar. We'll do that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
And
they
I
have
know-
so
Yeah.
many here. Like it's very holiday centered. Like
There's
I
a
feel
lot
like
to do around the
yeah.
holidays, I feel like.
yeah, I know we got a lot of people in our chat, and they're right with you. And how
I
cold
can
it gets.
see it.
I mean,
You're right, Waldo.
Cold says, well, 46 is, and she can't handle it anymore. I don't blame you. I know Paul. We've talked to Paul. Yeah, it's always cold up there in Canada. But
Paul is helping me though. The Canadian says it's okay because that's what I'm used to. So it's okay that I freeze at 50 degrees or 60 degrees.
it's really what how I roll said. You know, he goes, it makes his pain a lot worse. And I think
Yeah, that's the
Rachel
thing.
was talking about that
Yes,
earlier.
it does.
Yeah, my pain is a much more intense when it's cold and I get cold and I just can't relax. And I think it's because we're stressing ourselves out a little bit, so we get into a little bit of a stress. And then
And when you're cold, you're
and
like
it's
always.
not
We
yeah,
tense
and I
up
don't know
more.
if anybody else
Yeah,
experienced this, but I can be out, I can be comfortable, I can have a great time and it's cold. And when I say cold out here, you know, like let's say it gets down to 45 and I'm out and we're doing something Christmassy. But when I get home and I get in bed, you know, I feel my legs and they're ice cold. I mean, they're like an
Oh,
ice
yes,
cube.
me too.
And then all of a sudden I get the blanket. I have to put it over my head. And then I just get for like, I cannot fall asleep for about 2 to 3 hours until I warm up and I can
yeah.
take the blanket outside, you know, get my head back out because I just start shivering. And my wife says I do this head move where I kind of just get my ears warm again. It's just like, quit moving around. I'm like, my body is just not comfortable because I got so cold.
Yes,
Yeah, and you
I've
need
done
to
that.
warm up. This morning I went to the gym. What was the weather outside? Probably like 20 degrees. And when I got in there, I had to like, before I took off, I had to warm up before I even moved my body because I felt so achy. It's definitely a lot like cold for sure around this time of year. Not fun.
Yeah.
No, but
And
I
it's
feel you
hard
with with being cold and then not being able to relax because your body's so tense and it's trying to overwork or something to keep you warm. And then like
Yes.
and then once you're done shivering, like then your body's still tense and then it's harder to fall asleep. I've had that happen.
Yeah, and I know when you get home from something late, you know, and I'm Kelly, I'd love to hear from you. You know, when you get home, is it the same thing, and how long does it take to get warmed up? Because one thing when I get home from anything, I'm just tired. I want to get out of my chair, so it's not
Yeah.
like I'm move around or do X. I don't, you know, I'm just like I want bed. You know, I can start feeling my shoulders tense up, so I want to lay down where I can be comfortable, but then it's just all over. So it's like this catch-22. And one time I went to a Denver Bronco game in Colorado, and it was -1 the whole night, or or 5 degrees, and they couldn't even snow because it was so cold. And when we got home, first I sat by the fireplace for an hour and a half. Then I went to bed, and they threw every cover on me, and wasn't until like I don't know 2. It's just finally I'm starting to get warm, but they had every blanket on me on my legs. So and yeah,
Oh yes.
how I it, yep. That's you do the same thing with your ears. That's funny. I'm glad it's not me.
I do the same thing too. I keep my arms. If I'm cold, you'll see me like sitting like this, or over my ears or over my neck, like warming my neck and my ears,
Or even
trying to
like
get.
Yeah.
this.
Or yeah,
This is
just
my
like
neck.
Ashley with my face in my like.
I always have big earmuffs that Ashley ran over last year that she needs to buy me a new pair for this year. Okay.
Uh
But you need, because I hate when my like feet and my ears are cold and my head. Feel like you definitely
Yeah.
need like
Yeah.
something like this, like cover up.
Yeah.
And my legs be ice cold, like you said, like when I take my pants off, they be ice
Damn.
cold. But I don't realize like they don't really are cold to me. I mean a little bit, but not like how they
It's hard
feel.
to tell when your legs are that cold.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
always think like imagine, but like before my accident, I used to always take the bus everywhere. So I would always wear like three pants sometimes. So I think that way sometimes like, oh, if you were cold before, you're probably gonna be cold now. Like
Colder.
or colder,
Can't regulate
yeah.
your body
For
temperature.
So
cold.
I
Yeah.
try to always, or even like a blanket, Rachel. Like I put a blanket on my legs because you don't always want to do all that.
Yeah,
Like
because I was
Yeah.
cold before my accident. I
that's what
was
I
wearing
always
cold,
think
so
that
it doesn't help.
where you're like I used to go into my teaching job and go in the closet and take off my like couple layers and then come out like I'm ready for work.
Here's the fit.
Here's
Wasn't my
Yeah.
snowsuit.
because you do get hot when you go inside, and that's something I struggle with. Like, man, if I wear all these layers, then I have to change when I get there because I'm gonna get
Not
too
I.
hot inside. But the blanket helps a lot, like with that.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's Creek and Boy kind of said it. It's kind of like having those UTI chills. I don't know if anybody gets that when you get the UTI. You know, you have a
that is
fever,
like
but
the worst.
you feel so cold, like, and all you're doing is putting a blanket over your head when you have those UTIs, which is worse because now your fever is even going up and it's just getting worse. It's just like for me, it's a constant fight. You know, I'm like, I know I shouldn't have anything on me, but I feel so cold. Kind of like it's cold.
Yes.
Same with you, Rachel.
Yes. Yes. Like I hate when I start to shiver because then that takes me a while to like get warmed up again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, once you get that shiver, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yes. I
So
used to
for me,
hate
it's all
that.
about my neck. So I wear like one of those gator neck
Or
warmer
turtleneck.
things, like the scarf, or just yeah, turtleneck, whatever. But once my neck gets cold and my like that hardware or whatever gets cold, I'm done. Like my day,
It
my night,
hurts.
like I'm over it. Whatever we're doing, I don't want to be there. Like I'm ready to go. So
Now,
yeah,
and Chicken Boy, you know, he said it his breathing excessively helps him. It's not weird. That's what I have to do. I just start breathing as much, you know. All right, relax, calm down, you know.
Hello, Dad.
Is that
That's
your
my
dad?
dad.
Oh,
awesome.
He's in the hospital right
hey,
now.
Dad, glad you can
Oh
join
no,
us. We'll
we'll get well,
just,
Hi, Rachel's
get
dad.
well soon, Robert.
yeah. Shawn, do you want to talk about our sponsors? I know we're getting towards the end of our
Oh yes.
Yes, I
cast.
will do that.
I'm glad I
Oops.
prepared you.
If,
Our mobility.
whoops.
He's like, let me look at my notes.
Wait.
My hand is like spasming like crazy. But
Wait.
yeah, there we go. So yeah, let's thank our sponsors real quick. Mobility Professionals and Urology Professionals. Mobility Professionals is a mobility seating specialist. So if you need any type of wheelchair, standing frame, commode chairs, anything like that, they can hook you up. They are only based in Southern California, but if you are anywhere in the SoCal area, give them a call. Their information is in the description below. And then Urology Professionals is their sister company, and they're nationwide. They just do catheter supplies. So if you do need your catheter supplies, give them a call. They will take care of insurance, hook you up with everything. They're super great to work with. They honestly do so much in the community locally here. They're at all the different events. They're always representing. So they're great people. Great, they support us, and we're trying to support them as well. So
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
check them out.
awesome.
Mobility Professionals,
Oh,
Urology Professionals.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and also I'm just gonna shout out if anybody else is in the SoCal area. Next Saturday, in about 10 days or so, a little more, we're having our fundraiser, Friendsgiving fundraiser. So come on out, hang out. We actually got some pretty cool raffle prizes. We got a pair of Lakers tickets to give away. We got DNA Vibe, which is a cool like $200 red light therapy device. We got some Beeline hemp wick for our stoner friends. Some like cannabis product stuff that's not actual smokable, but you know, some side stuff for smoking. We'll have a bunch of other little prizes like that. So we got a few other sponsors that are got some stuff coming, but check it out. All that stuff will be. You got to come to win. So come hang out with us.
That's
Yeah.
that's on Zoom, right?
No,
it's
that's
in
gonna be in
No.
person at Bobby's
It's in
house.
person. Oh,
Yeah, we're doing it at Bobby's house there. I mean, we'll get a
Love
Zoom going, get
it.
you guys on it. We'll get our Chicago and Oregon friends it.
Yeah.
If you want to
Listen.
support it, if you're not
Live
able to make
impress.
it out, buy a ticket. You can also buy a ticket to support the channel.
Oh,
Yeah, anybody in the
okay.
chat, if you guys are not local, want to support, yeah.
Yeah. Lift
Yes.
Love that.
Just go to
You just put no ticket, right?
Yeah, you can just put no ticket, or not attending. But yeah, I was just trying to look also in the chat here as we're wrapping up. You guys have been super active in the chat, which is awesome. Everybody hanging out, trying to celebrate.
Tom. So much better. So we miss Tom. Tom, we miss
Yeah, and so
you.
Tom tried to play. Tom is
Happy
not feeling
birthday,
very good right
Shawn.
now, and he thinks that it was the tacos we ate yesterday for lunch at King Taco. But me and Kyle, and I'm pretty sure my buddy, are all feeling
Just fine.
fine. So I don't know what else Tom got into, but
What you been into?
he
You
did
just had
have a
to go.
couple of cocktails. We went to Top Golf. If anybody. And swung
Oh,
some
yeah.
clubs. So I got some video coming out of that. We had a couple of drinks and stuff. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
3 quads trying to swing a golf club. That was good stuff.
Love it.
That's fun though.
Right.
We want to try
We
that.
played air hockey the other
Yeah,
week.
I've
That
been
was
wanting to
fun.
do that.
Air hockey, you said?
Yeah, we just like ran into not ran, but we went into this random bar near our house, and they have like arcade games and stuff. And so we did skee ball, which was hard as a squad. But
was
then we did
fun.
air hockey, and that was fun.
Yeah.
It is.
See, air hockey seems doable. Skee ball seems tough for a
The
quad.
ball,
It
Dick,
is
you could probably
hard.
throw
There's
some
like
balls
not a
up
lot
there,
of
but
games we could do.
the ball on the ski ball, that ball is heavy and it's slippery for a squad. So you're like, I'm like this every time. Oh, you know, it always goes into the other track or something. I'm like, oh, sorry.
That's. But it was empty in there, so no one saw.
Yeah.
our buddy Adrian said to hit him up, Rachel. He's up in like more Sac, or he's going to be in the Sac area.
Oh, that's
Hey.
great. That's like
He's more Central
6 hours
California.
away. Let's
But
link up.
but yeah, Adrian's cool. He's a quad. He's awesome, dude. Yeah, check him out for sure. And trying to see what else we got in the chat here. We got so much. I think I missed a few.
Nicole, she's been
But-
very active. Glad
your
to
dad-
see you're doing well, Nicole, and reaching out. I noticed that Nicole was saying that she's not a spinal cord injury, and her transverse myelitis, she falls into a little bit different category, but she does hang out.
It's a spinal cord
those that
disorder.
have
So,
Yeah, and she has all the issues we have, so she relates to us, and I'm glad to. I
Yeah.
saw earlier you said
Love
reaching
it
out.
too.
That's the important part.
Yes. Live to rules for everyone.
There
yeah,
you go.
exactly. We're all inclusive.
It's awesome.
Um,
Follow us.
Yeah. So, anything else, Rachel, that you want to share or talk about you're doing right now coming up? You have anything going on you want to shout
And
out?
how can we see your channel on YouTube?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
sure.
it's Rachel Marie. Rachel Marie.
All one word, obviously.
Yes.
I'll put it in the
And
Subscribing.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm just focusing on myself, trying to gain as much muscle as possible and just work on my transfers and be able to, you know, at least get up from bed and out of bed like on my own. That would be a great accomplishment.
Keep working at it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That
Yeah, it's hard.
Yep.
You know, right there, it took me.
What do you guys use? Like, are you in the quads? Like, what helps you get or sitting up? Like, what do you use?
I
so
use the. Go ahead, Shawn.
what I use is like a little like grab bar that slides under the mattress, and I'm able just to put my arm under it and then like pull up with my elbow. Like I dig my elbow into the bed, and I can get up and then rock to my other elbow, and then once I'm kind of on my elbows, I can scoot around or lean forward and get like bent forward if I need to, and sit up more.
The
But it's
problem
all
is,
about the bar. I need the bar to grab. Bobby,
And
yeah,
I have a spasm. So if I'm on in my bed, if I'm on my back, I have to get up. I can create a spasm where my knees bend up, they fall to the side, and then I just start scooting on my elbow. I'll get up on my elbow, scoot
pop
around,
up.
and then kind of pivot myself up so I can sit up. Or if I'm laying flat and I'm not getting spasms for whatever reason, I grab my chair. I always have my chair next to me. I will not move my chair away from me, next to my bed, and I'll use my chair. And I like Shawn does. I get up on my one elbow and get up on my other, and then scoot myself around.
Dang. Yeah, the problem is that I still have a hospital bed and it's an air mattress. So I think I need a bigger bed, and then I have a ladder,
Yeah.
like
the bed
that
ladders
can
work
move.
too. I've used a bed ladder before. Like you talking like it's like the fabric one that goes to the front of the bed and has little
Yeah,
rungs you can kind of put your arms in.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
how I
because
set
those
up
do
now,
work. I've traveled with those before because they were easy to travel with. Um, and they work fine except for the fact that I just occasionally will like spasm and kick it like down to the bottom of the bed and like off because like
Oh
if I can't,
yeah.
it's hard to find a good place to lay it where I can grab it without kicking it and like sending it away.
And tuck it.
So
Yeah.
but Rachel, what I do, I have a sleep number that the head raises. So I do it the
so
lazy way
that's
now, and I raise myself all the way up, and then I'm up. I just kind of come forward and sit up.
How do you press the button?
It's on my phone, so I have a
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe you
my
could send me
bed
what
up and
kind you
down,
have.
and so that's a sleep number. I have one more payment left, and I'm done paying off
A
That's awesome.
4 years paying off that bed. But I wanted that comfort level of doing things from my phone, and that was one. That's how I do it. On your electric hospital bed, you don't have the little cord remote that's right there next to you.
I do. I do.
Okay.
I
can you
I
actually
should
use
I
it or
should.
you can't? Can you like get to the
I
button and use?
I never tried. So I'm gonna try that. I need
You
to like
gotta
loop
try
it to
it.
like a Velcro thing or like something so it doesn't fall and I could grab it easier,
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe a
That-
lanyard or something.
That's one thing that's hard is when I don't have my phone next to me. It's like, oh, now I
Yeah.
have to fish out of water, and I have to, especially when I have to do it the old way. I'm like, I get lazy
Yeah, it's
now.
a lot.
So, and it sounds like Nicole got a new bed that does what mine does too. I don't have the foot, Nicole, but I got the head. It's all like,
not yet, not yet.
Not the
Manifesting.
feet,
Was it Nicole in the comments? Like,
Oh,
not the
there is.
legs.
Other Nikki.
Oh yeah,
uh,
she just said
Okay, that's my birth
that.
name.
yeah.
yeah,
I've heard
Kelly,
those
how
are
I
really
roll
good.
said he has a sleep number too. I've heard a
How
lot
do
of
you?
people say the sleep numbers are great.
Yeah, everyone seems to have one. Hi Luna.
Yeah.
Hi baby. You're so pretty.
Anything else, Shawn, before we wrap up?
I think that's about it. We can just shout out next week. Be back with another live. Like I said, we got the Chicago crew coming back next week with a couple people we met in Chicago at the expo. Nice couple, and they're super cool. So check that out. And then Rihanna's on with the women's show, first and third Thursday. Always on the third Thursday with Nikki and Ashley there too, always on. And we also got not this week because it's Thanksgiving, but starting back in December, we'll have the second and fourth. Your dad. Second and fourth Thursdays. We got the Rolling Over the Hill with Bobby and Robert Soto. So all kinds of stuff. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Keep coming back, hanging out, guys. Nikki and Ashley, thanks for joining us and hopping in for
Thanks
Tom.
for letting us crash.
No, that was awesome. It's cool. That,
Sorry we kept showing our ceiling. Our parents are off work, so they're looking a little bummy. They didn't want to be on camera.
No problem. I couldn't figure out what you were doing, and then I finally caught on. I was like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, they're in their PJs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 2 hours.
Hey, they're living life, but they're comfortable, chilling. They're in
Yeah,
their
they're
house.
living their best off Thanksgiving break life.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
And that's about the one thing I am looking forward to is laying in bed a little longer, watching some good football, hopefully. Yeah.
Yes, relaxing.
There you go.
Period.
And yeah, also Black Olivia popped in. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Yeah, I mean, should have said that too. We got Thanksgiving a couple of days, so happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope everybody enjoys the holiday. I know, like we talked about earlier, it can be tough sometimes with the injury and family and different stuff, but just try to enjoy the holiday what you can, and reach out to somebody if you need to. Talk to somebody.
We'll
Ron,
be
is there
here.
a show on Thanksgiving?
No, we're not going to have a show on Thanksgiving, but I am going to try to post a video. One of the other things I've been working on is the Tales from the Crypts, and I actually have a Thanksgiving tale that I was going to tell. So I might start that series of shows off with an episode on Thanksgiving with how I missed Thanksgiving a few years ago.
Aw.
So,
Can't wait to hear it.
anyone out there, if you need to just chat, hit us up on Instagram, and I'll be happy to call anybody on Thanksgiving if you need a little bit of support.
Yeah, for sure, because it can be hard holiday, but yeah, reach out. We're here. And yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
And live to roll, everyone.